Thanks for accepting my request and accepting
Thank you
to
to
talk
you.
with me.
Yes, thank you to you for inviting me.
Your page is amazing, man. I saw your website. Your website is so unique.
Oh, wow, thank you.
It's so new. Space is
Yes,
vintage.
yes.
It's amazing. It's more than.
I started during the pandemic in March about last year, just because I saw a lot of pages about space, about science, but no one was so focused about history or anyway this part of space exploration. And so I decided to start it on my own. We were all in houses, we can go outside, and so I decided to run it.
Nice. Before talking about it, I want to introduce you to my audience
Yeah.
and to the world. So, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, yes. I'm Giulia. I'm from Italy, from the center part of Italy, and actually I'm a student. So I study at the University of Cassino, Computing and Telecommunication Engineering. Now I finished all the exams, so I'm working on my thesis to conclude these 3 years of studying. And I'm the admin of the Instagram page Spaces Vintage, which is a beautiful page. Beautiful page. Follow me, please.
But
And
computing,
so, but yes, but
yeah,
computing
go
and
on.
telecommunication engineering, yes, very
Yeah,
hard.
so so computing and telecommunication engineering is
Yes.
completely different from space subject.
Yes, in fact, actually, I want to be an engineer. So in general, I'm interested in all kind of science. I focus it on computing, which is today all is about computing. And here, a few kilometers from where I live, there is this course, which is very interesting about computing with the telecommunication part, which is very hard. I know that there are a lot other universities and other courses more focused about telecommunication. I found it very interesting for the matches about these topics. But since I was a child, I was very interested in space topics, every kind, from personal reasons, but also in a lot of films. For example, I like to watch films about with scientific topics. Anyway, computing, telecommunications. Without it, we can't go in space. So they're really connected.
So, what is your inspiration to start this space is vintage, and why this name?
Well, basically, about the name, it was so hard because not too much persons know that the original name of the page wasn't Spaces Vintage, but we don't we don't spread this information. And I remember the day when I opened notes on my phone. I wrote about all terms, vintage, retro, space, exploration, humankind, and these names pops out basically before the aim of the page is to inspire people that see the photos that I publish. The main reason because space is seen in general as a fantastic or very complex things. It is very hard. I don't want to say the opposite. But I think that if we push these things as a normal thing, so we can define it properly as a vintage. Today we can refer to vintage things, in general, old things, because they are very strong, they are consolidated. And so I hope that one day space could be like this. So talk to the past to see a better future.
So this is your imagination.
Yes, absolutely. A big one of my favorite figure is Elon Musk. Well, all knows about Elon Musk. Elon Musk says that human for him, and it's a philosophy that I shared. I'm okay with that. He said that when human will go in space, easy as we take a plane or a train or a car. So that day we will be powerful. We are conscious about the fact that we have produced something very important and big, and that no one can do it in the past. So hope one day we can see all space as a vintage thing.
So coming to your subject, computing and telecommunication, why you selected the
Yes,
subject and what made you? What is your inspiration?
mainly because, as I said, is forever a part, very important part of my interests. So I was interested in science of every kind, but I find that not for telecommunications, but in general for computing, is a very open-minded subject. So it's like a strong power that you can improve, you can learn every day, and while the time is passing and go ahead, you learn more. You are more powerful with the instruments that computing can give you. All of this is applied in every kind of science, medicine, telecommunications, space, every kind of science. But it's very unique how simple things came from previous maths, then physics, and all the other subjects can transform our life and make it more easy to all of us. That's the aim, basic aim of science: make life easiest as possible.
So you're already an engineer in computing and telecommunication,
Telecommunication. Yes,
and
I'm
you
ending my this course, and I have to complete a final work, and so maybe next month I will conclude that.
have you done your
So
project?
I'm a few moments ago I was checking my code on MATLAB because with my teacher we encountered a problem about something about an algorithm. I will fix that later, but yes, in about a month I have to, yes, mostly completed the work.
So you are interested in all types of science,
Yes, in general, yes, yes.
other than space, with which you will connect.
I connect also with medicine. Obviously, yes, it's beautiful, but it's also very important. And also telecommunication. Telecommunications is one of my interests that arise in that period, because I studied a lot. Telecommunication is a very hard topic for all. It's very hard in general as it's a very strong knowledge, and I studied a lot. A lot and hard because it's very difficult, and so I find it very powerful as for computing, because still today when I studied about I don't know, Maxwell equations, or the spread of an electromagnetic field. I find it very, it's like magic to put an antenna from your part of India, from my part of Italy, at the right frequencies with the right electronics. We can talk standing you in your home and me in my home. It's like magic. And so this is really connected to computing because computing is the base of every knowledge. Yes, is maths is the base of every knowledge, and computing evolved it and made it possible, in my opinion. And so, yes, I'm the best objective about that is magical.
So I'm sure you are very good in mathematics.
Yes, it's it's good. I'm good. Yes, but every day when I struggle to do new problems, I say that, oh, I have to learn something new today. And so, yes, I'm good, but who is very good in maths? I don't know.
So can I say that that analytical and logical thinking made you to connect with all types of science and space is vintage is one of the thought that came from your collection.
Yes, I can say that space, in my opinion, is the best sum of all of that. I think that if you want to face a challenge like this, go to space. It's very difficult from several point of views. You need air to breathe. You need energy to live. You need food. You need all things that here on Earth we study, we face every day. We try to improve, obviously. And so space represents the best sum of all these topics. And when I saw things like that, I say that we as humanity, uh, we did a very important thing. So we go into space where actually no one can go.
So tell me about your project, your college project.
Oh yes, um, it's because my course is as I said, computing and telecommunications. In general, all my exams were focused about obviously maths, physics, and electronics also. A lot of topics about that. But in general, we can divide it into a computing part, as I say, computing language like C++ or MySQL for database, and a telecommunication part. So when you end all the exams in Italy, in general, not for all universities, but in my universities, we have to conclude all these exams with a work and related obviously with your the subject that you studies during these years, and so you can choose between computing and telecommunications. I choose telecommunications because I was really connected with the teacher. I found it very good to explain our problems, very resolutive. So I find it very good. I decided to start this work with him, and he is about is a telecommunication engineers, and my topic is about to power allocation in 5G networks. So the aim of the work was first of all understand the philosophy around 5G networks, and then improving on coding on MATLAB a system that represent a 5G network. I don't know if you are into the topic, but anyway, uh, telecommunications network works like cells. We have a lot of cells divided into geographic area, and each cells provide a service to the user, me with my phone, you with your phone. And when I go on Instagram, when I do a call, I have to require a service on one of these cells dislocated in the geographic area where I started the connection. The aim was reproduce a single cell that, in general, in future can be multiplied for all the area that you have to provide the service. Define it a work system. So you have to say that in this area, which is about dot meters and dot meters squared area, you have which is called base radio station at the center, and then you have to decide the number of users that you can insert into this cell, and then you have to define the type of communications. In 5G networks is about just not to be so long. It is a tedious lecture. It's based on multi-users MIMO. So it's based on a single antenna, base station antenna, which has a lot, very, very high number of small antennas. These can improve not only the capacity, so how much information you can send to a specific device into the area, but also the interference terms. So if we are in the same cell, if I talk to another user and you want to talk with another user, my message goes at the destination, your message goes at the destinations, but during the traveling of the signal, we have interference. So you are in interference with my signal, and I am in interference with your signal. 5G's networks are based not only for improving the capacity, so very simple, you go very fast when you navigate or when you call, but they have to face a very big deal, which is the increasing number of the users. So if you imagine that for these years, we are estimating that for each person on the planet, we have more or less, it's obviously an average and a data report, about 6 devices connected to the network. So if in average each of us has 6 devices which communicate, we have a lot of data, a lot of interference, and 4G system are not able to perform such a huge impact about data, but also for that interference. So what I have to do and what I did, I'm ending this part, and is allocate power in a proper way to increase the amount of information that you can transmit, but also reduce or less minimize the power required to send this information. So you can, in general, in a 5G systems with a proper allocated power, you can send a lot of information, the best amount of information that you can send, with the minimum power values that you can face. So it's a very big deal because for that it's a very actual problem. So that's the unique way we can follow, improve our capacity values, and reduce best as we can the power requirement. Don't forget that we use smartphones. They are little, they are small batteries. So in general, we have to optimize the best as we can power allocation, and also for I read a lot of articles about that for the CO2 emissions. Obviously, if we waste power, CO2 is increased drastically because actual systems are very simple. They are like normal cars. 4G system is based that as much power you put into the system, as much information you can send. It's like a car. If you fill the tank of the car, the more than you fill, the more far you can reach. 5G can do this, obviously, but that's not the way humans do things. We have to do best things as we can. So we can improve the information you can send to all the devices, but you have also necessarily minimize the power. And this is reached about a lot of algorithms. So that's there is a lot of maths behind that, a lot of algorithms. For example, is the one that I improved. If you want, I can show you also this later, because this part is ready, which is the water filling algorithm. And the one that I'm struggling about, I have a lot of problems with that, is the Dinkelbach algorithm that optimize this ratio between the capacity and the power that you need to transmit this amount of information. Water filling is focused only on improve capacity. When I say capacity, it means obviously information. Or rate is also called rate, and Dinkelbach instead is focused on the optimization of this ratio. So it's very hard. Telecommunications is the summary of that is that telecommunications is very hard.
So, what is the existing system in your project, and what is the proposed system?
The proposed system is a multi-users MIMO. So it's based on this structure: a single cell, a single radio-based antenna with, in general, n small antennas. In the simulation that I can show you, obviously we can change parameters. My teacher says that in general, if we have 10 users, the small antennas on the radio base station must have about 10 per 10. So one power of 10 of distances, and it's based on that. So this code I can say that I want total amount of users. So the number of antennas, the optimal number of antennas requires for that has to be about the number of users per 10. And then there is the implementation for a various range of power, which goes from minus 40 decibels, which is about 10 elevated to minus 4 in natural power, in natural values, to 10 decibel. No one transmits at 10 decibel. It's a huge amount of power for the existing device. In general, we can transmit about minus 5 decibels, or at least it's very high, 0 decibels. 0 decibel is 1 watt of power, which is quite a lot for a smartphone, if you think. And so for this range of powers, which is about is very large, I plot the some capacities. So the way how the information increase while I increase power, and then I have to complete other two parts: the water filling that shows how the power has to be allocated for each user. So the main concept about that is that every user that talk with the base station has a channel. So if I send you a message from Italy to India, this signal have to travel into atmosphere, into rain, into clouds. It has to face a lot of reflections, refractions about all the materials that it has to pass in. And so this is represented by the channel H, also called slow fading. A signal goes decrease as 1 over d square, where d is the distances. So if our distance increase, my signal to have been to be received well from you has to be more powerful because the distance increase. And so the water filling move the total amount of power that you have for each user and for each channel. In general, you can think that if a channel is worse, it's not very good, you can put more power on it because the channel is not very good, no problem. I put a lot of power on it, so I'm sure that if I put more power, the signal will be received as well as it can. That's not the truth. So it's very intuitive as solution, but it's not the best. Water feeling said that came from a lot of mathematic interpretations, a lot of axioms, lemmas, and problems that are solved about that. But the aim is that if the channel is not very good, I don't waste my power on a channel that is not good. I prefer to put this power on a good channel, and in that way, I can maximize the amount of information that I can send in all the system, on all the system. This is the aim of the water filling. And then we have the Dinkelbach algorithm, which has to improve not only the amount of information that you can send, but also the cost to send this information, which include the amount of power you have, plus a term of power, which is the dissipated power. All of the telecommunication systems, also our smartphone, the base antenna, dissipate a lot of power for the amplifiers, for cooling system, for in general cables that increase their temperature. This is all dissipated power that you have, so power that you produce effectively, but power that you don't use it for the transmission because it's lost during all these phenomena. And so the Dinkelbach algorithm have to optimize the amount of information that you can send with the cost of that information. And so water filling is focused only on the information, the amount of information, we can call it capacity. Dinkelbach on the ratio between the information and the cost to send this information. 5G network have to improve a water filling algorithm, which is a small, not the general case, but it's a small problem that you can face in this type of system. The general one is the ratio between these two functions.
So, what you want to create with the knowledge that you have in coming days?
Well, I have to say that my journey is not ended. So after I don't know, maybe in different countries there are different rules, but anyway, in Italy we have two types of degree. The first, which is called, can be compared to the bachelor degree in USA, for example, which is about 3 years of specific topic. In my case is engineering. Then after this period, you can take another degree, which is like I don't know, maybe a PhD is called in USA. So other 2 years where you can be more specific about a topic. In my case, my course was about computing and telecommunications. After that, I can specify my knowledge in computing or in communications. And so I have more or less 2 years more to study. Maybe we can say three, just to be sure. But unfortunately, and but I think that any kind of knowledge lives, I think of all of us has to improve what we have. So wake up in the morning doing something, not just because I have to do it, but because the world has to be more efficient. And so we have to improve our knowledge to make our life easiest as possible. So help others find new solutions for new problems, or find better solutions for problems that we already know to have.
So, space is vintage.
Yes.
What you're going to do with this?
Well, I started this page without expectations. So I didn't start the page because I have to reach 1 million of followers, because I have to do something big. My aim is basically to inspire people about this topic. Oh, we know that space, anyway, if we want or if we don't want to, space will be our own one day. So if we have time now, we are not facing big problems like me. We have time. We are very relaxed in in this moment. So don't waste your time now. Start about finding and improving our capabilities in space. And the aim of Space is Vintage is that remember when we started, and also think when we are now. We went to the moon. We did a lot of very important things. People went in space in 60s, where no one knows nothing about space. Films of about 50s or 60s are the presentations. These films are completely incorrect about the matter of facts. So we have a lot to learn, and in future we have to improve necessarily our knowledge. We did in the past something that was incredible. The possibility that human can go to the moon were very, very low. They were very risky missions. So we did that for a specific aim. I don't want to talk about the historical parts, which is obviously the facing about the Soviet Union and the Americans. Obviously, yes, but what we did is to did something impressive. No one talked about that. We did that. Today is not very common thinking about space. From the ending of the space shuttle, the interest goes very down. But today, with the power about computing, electronics that we have in all world, is amazing. It's unbelievable. What we can do today with computing, artificial intelligence, deep learning, applied also opens new scenarios. Never imagined about that. And so Spaces Vintage have to do that, have to inspire people that space is up. All we have space above our head. It's not like something big. It's here. A lot of kilometers going up, but take the oxygen with you if you go to it. But it's very important. So think about it.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Uh,
Yeah, I can.
I can
Yeah,
hear.
the video is not so clear.
I can see you.
Yeah.
Okay, now
No.
it's better. Okay. Now I see you. Okay, it was 5G is will fix that. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. Your project should. The governments should implement the project that you are doing, and so that we can talk uh, in the proper way. The information transfer will be perfect.
Yes, we hope. We need
So,
that.
as a telecommunications and what is the before subject? Telecommunications and
And computing.
yeah, computing and telecommunication communication engineer, and as a creator of the space in vintage, uh, as a creator of, I mean, as an engineer, as a creator of that space in vintage. Uh, so, what do you say about the engineer who did masters in software engineering, who is speaking with you right now? What do you say about his videos on YouTube?
I had to say that your project is very interesting because you talk with a lot very interesting. So uh, it's like really different reality in all world. It's a very beautiful project, and I think that you have learned more about this chatting, not only with me, but I saw you you have interviewed a lot of interesting people.
So actually, your voice was breaking. The visual was disconnected again. Now it's connected.
Oh, oh, oh. So I said that 5G networks. Anyway, I say that your project is very important, not only for us, but I think firstly for yourself, because facing so much differences with different people from Canada, France, USA, it's facing completely new realities, and so I think that the best as you can earn is not just talking about the person, but what you can learn from. So I say that the summary of that is that I think that this project is very important, not much for the interviewers that you talk about, but the strong part of that is what you can learn about talking with so different people in all world.
So I want you to do what you love, and I want you to reach more people in the world because you look so intelligent and you look so keen observer.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did more than 290 videos in last 6 months. I think you are the only person who is talking about a particular subject.
Yes.
Uh, very can you can tell. I think you can tell. I don't know much about this
Well,
telecommunication, and that is
yeah.
not my engineering. But
I
still,
don't
I
know
came to know.
much about software engineering. I have to say that my course is part of computer. I know that in general, in India, there are Indian people are really into this topic.
Yeah. So, but still, I connected with a lot of things. Networking is there in my present subject in which I am studying about AWS. I'm preparing for AWS cloud architect position. So in that, networking is one of those, and C++ is also base subjects for every engineer student. So
Yes.
I know that, and I am computer science graduate. So I know everything about computer science and computer science and communications is interconnected. They
Yes.
both are
A lot.
very important.
In fact, to say that in my university, there are, I don't know if I think yes, exists also in India an Erasmus project where people from a different country can study into your country, and I don't know now the university in particular, but my university, not for the first degree, but for the major degree, the second one, there are a lot of Indians that came from India and study here at my university the major in telecommunications. So I know that
Okay.
this is very hard.
Yeah. So at last, do you have anything to say to the people who watches this video from anywhere on this planet?
Well, a very big responsibility to say that to much people, but well, anyway, I can tell what I repeat to myself every day. So work hard, don't give up, and try to improve yourself, and you will see that you will improve also uh, other lives and the world that is around you.
So, do you want to promote any socials of yours, any website of yours, any?
Yes, my page, which is Spaces Vintage, and in this period, I was thinking about open another one, which will be called Night is Vintage. The aim of the page is to, well, Spaces Vintage is deeply focused about the space explorations as as humanity. So I can post about humans missions, maybe some missions with rovers, with probes. Night is Vintage. I will be focused about the the night sky. So the celestial bodies, about planets, galaxies. As I said, I'm interested in all kinds of science. Space is one of that, but I think that is the sum of all of the others that which I'm interested. So with this page, I want to improve and to spread all knowledge about the celestial bodies, which is I'm making some posts about that, so I'm working on it, guys. Galaxies, night sky, stars, planets. Wow, very beautiful.
So if you send me all your links, I'll put in the description of this video. People who finds our video will can find you and can find your pages and can find your website.
Oh, thanks. Yes, I will. I will repost also when you will publish it on my account, so all my followers can see this interview. Oh, a huge sorry for my English. I'm not the best. Uh, since I was in high school, I'm is so and so. I hope I didn't do some terrible mistakes. But anyway, I hope that the message is passed.
Yeah, but your subject knowledge is very good. The terminology that you used uh, itself makes people to connect with your explanation. So you're very
Yeah,
good.
thank you. Thank you so much. You too, bro.
Thank you. And can I put this video on my YouTube channel, on social media, on internet, on my
Yes, yes,
podcast? This footage,
yes.
this clip.
I respond. Whatever. Yes, no problem for me.
Okay. So see you soon after you creating something big or
Yes,
something
I
that
hope.
you wanted to tell. I'm ready anytime because it's very good for me to talk with very
Mhm.
intelligent and very intellectual people like you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.